Warning, this show contains adult language, so viewer and listener discretion is advised. Welcome to another edition of Up and In It. I'm your host, Adrian Babashoff, and if you're new here, welcome as well. And if you're wondering what the show is about, it's entirely dedicated to improving quality of life through liberation and independence for both people and planet. I got that backwards, by the way. Exploring alternatives to the daily grind, moving you from surviving to thriving and living life raw. I guess I wanted to mix that one up a little bit today. And also, if you're wondering what that sound in the background is, that's my vehicle because I'm on my work commute right now. That's how I do my podcasts. And yeah, so let's get into it. Today's episode 186, Hardcore Money Saving Boot Camp. I know that this recession and all this crazy stuff here, the Great Reset, a lot of people are worried about things, inflation, and it's a lot of stuff I don't think we learn from our parents. We don't learn in school, definitely not from school. And sometimes when I look at, especially my era, I'm in my 40s. I guess we're Generation X. I don't really follow all that bullshit. But the thought I had this morning was, how do parents teach their kids when they don't even know themselves? Because when we look at this situation, how many people actually do have savings? And what are statistics? How do I know this? Is what do statistics tell us? Not that I believe 100% statistics, but what statistics are saying is that about 7 in 10 Americans barely have a couple $100s of savings or money in the bank at one given time. That's a very precarious situation. I, for one, feel very confident, and work is actually, I'm getting hit finally. This is the first week of April and of 2021, and I'm finally starting to notice the business is slowing down, and I'm getting a little antsy here. Am I freaked out? No, because I've provided for myself. I've got enough money to last me a few years if I so chose to. I have enough emergency funds and things like that. And I got to tell you, when times like this hit, and even if they don't, but when bad times really hit, it makes you feel really grateful that for your past self for doing all the work. And that's kind of what I want to spread on to you guys. I want to change the world, but I want to do it individual by individual at a time. I know that I can't change a lot of different things, in this world, many, many things. But it's my job that I look at as if I can help a few. And that's where it starts. It starts with the self. It starts by living by example. And the example that we have before us in the system sucks. I don't want to rant on about that. We need some solutions, right? Forget about all the problems. All right, so what do we got? You need a plan. We need to organize a plan. And I think this is the problem with a lot of people, is they just maybe start saving money. Let's just start saving money. It doesn't really work that way all the time, although it can for you, I'd say, maybe. But it works a hell of a lot better when you have some sort of plan. So you kind of need to know what you're aiming towards. And if you don't know, I got your back. If you don't know what you're aiming towards, it's because you're so busy, you don't even have time to think. So as I said, when you get emergency funds and you get everything all set up like I do, you get a lot more free time to actually think about what it is that you want, right? And having money in the bank definitely does not hurt one bit. So if you don't know, you need to ponder, you need to get your feet wet, you need to dip your toes in a lot of different waterfalls, a lot of different streams, go searching out a lot of different tributaries. But unfortunately, it takes money and it takes time. And money, when you have it compiled up, allows you to have that time. So that's what we need to do. But we need to come up with an organizational plan. So it's kind of nice to know what your heading is. So it's going to get pretty extreme. Your lifestyle, most likely, is what I see in America is here. I know we have listeners from different parts of the globe here, but here in America, at least, I see a lot of spoiled people, man. I don't want to, jab or anything like that, but we're living pretty fucking high on the hog. Even us middle class and lower class, middle to lower class, and poor people. There's places in other countries where people can't even get a decent meal for days. So there's room for us to improve, and that's kind of what we're going to get into it, and you're going to need to ask yourself that question. So in this whole show, this is what we're going to deal with. So you need to get your goals down. What is my goal? Maybe goal number one, if you don't know what you're doing, is to be able to have the time to experiment, to find out what it is that you do want. Do you want to invest in business? Do you want to start your own business? Do you want to be an entrepreneur? Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to get out of debt? All of these things, you need to locate and write them down. But you're not going to get anything here moving unless you get that plan and we start saving. So once you find one of your goals, Like say the first one is to save money and get an emergency plan. I would recommend that you start off with a 3-month emergency plan. You're going to go and you're going to audit yourself. You're basically going to look and see, well, how much money are you spending every year, or every month, I'm sorry. And you're going to need to hone that down. You're going to need to simplify your meals. You're going to stop eating out. You're going to do a lot of different things to get ahead. And it's hardcore. It is hardcore. And a lot of, in my beginning stages, it sucks. I still live this way because when you get soft, you let your guard down, you know, and then things can happen. But anyways, yeah, you need to know what your goal is. And if it is to save money, you need to write that down. I want 3 months worth supply of emergency funds. That means everything that you've got. Gas, rent, phone, food, all of these things. You need to know what that, as we said, the plan, what that number is so you can achieve it. So little by little, you're going to start stacking money away into a jar, let's say. I think I had one in here, a money jar. You know, like every time you swear, you got to put $1 in a jar. Every time you want to go out to a bar and you spend 40 bucks or something, don't go to the bar. Go buy yourself a 6-pack or whatever, some drinks, go home, invite some friends over and stick the excess money in a jar and start adding that up after a month. You want to go to the movies? Don't go to the movies. Rent something on the internet for $4. Rent a movie and take the rest of the $10, $20, whatever you'd spend, put that in a jar. Start compiling it. After about 3 months, or after you get your 3 months emergency supply and you have it there, go and treat yourself. I've talked about this before. Go take yourself out to a bar, buy yourself a pizza, you know, or some sushi, like one of my favorite. But you want to have that goal because, as I said, times would get hard. You're going to be like, why am I doing this? You're going to see your friends having fun, of course, spending money they don't have, being broke, which to me is not fun. It's the long game too. It's retirement and where you're placing yourself. Believe me, when you get money, emergency funds stocked up, you can use it for investing. You can use it for a lot of different things. So you'll need to reflect on what was my goal? What is the purpose of my life? I'm not doing anything. Look at your goals. You will need them to reflect back on and go, oh, that's right. I want to start my own business. So you've got to sacrifice. There's no like easy step here. Like it's all up to you to save. I'm trying to help you out. So yeah, check on them periodically. I think what you want to do too is take complete inventory and assessment of your situation. It can get stressful, right? When you're just working and working, you're saving money, you're not going out. A lot of people I think are used to being pampered, you know, and like not having to cook and you know, do these certain things, and it just seems like it, I don't know, it gets annoying. Then you go home and you're working so hard because what the tendency is as well, like what I did, is why work 8 hours when I can work 12 hours? I'm not going out, I'm not doing anything. That means I'd save even more money and get to my goal quicker. So then we start leaving things like our homes, you know, laundry and dishes and you know, basically your home and like my truck right now is one. If you guys, those of you watching this on YouTube, you can see the back. It's just full of my rain jackets and stuff like that. I got to organize this shit. You know, I've been so busy at work and it becomes, I mean, you get irritated, very, very frustrated and irritated. So take an assessment and an inventory of everything you got. This show can go on for a long time. And unfortunately, I ain't got the time for the podcast at least. We got to keep it to 15 minutes here. Can't afford, you know, running it 5 days a week. But yeah, you want to get an assessment. You want to try to get rid of things that you're not using. Basically clear the desk, right? When you want to go to work and you want to find a pen, you don't want to be scrambling through a bunch of shit. You want to be able to find that pen, open up a drawer, know exactly where it's at, have paper, have everything organized so you're not screwing around. You're actually getting down to real business here. So yeah, do a complete assessment and inventory of your situation. Trust me, guys, it'll make your lives a lot easier and a lot less stressful. So money. Yeah, the whole thing is about money, but not necessarily. What does money buy us? It buys us time. It buys us that yacht. It buys us that day where you're sipping margaritas on the porch or whatever it is, having a barbecue, right? So we need to change our mentality of what the money is. I mean, sitting and rolling around naked in a bunch of fucking $100 bills may seem appealing to some people, but to me, it's not necessarily the money. It's what money affords me to do or not have to do. And that's what I think we need to get through our heads here. And once we get that down, I think that's going to open up doors for us to get to where we want to get. So I think a lot of people are fooled, and we have talked about it. Money is actually a curtain of disguise of what's going on behind the scenes. The rich don't utilize money the way we do. They don't just get money and save it. Saving money is for losers. We have inflation and things going on. We talked about that on the show. Your $100 that you saved today, that you saved from 10 years ago, think about it. What is it worth to you? It's still $100, but it didn't get you as far as where it would 10 years ago. A house, a stick of bubble gum, everything due to inflation. So money is a very tricky thing. We need to understand. I think investing in yourself is having an emergency fund. Yes, it's going to sit in an account, and for now, until we wisen up. I haven't done it yet. Investing it. I'm a little too scared about that, but I'm investing, using that money to take off a lot of time of work to do these shows. These shows take a lot of work. I don't know if we're going to be doing these 5 days a week, by the way. We're going to have to see, because it's cutting into my health. I'm getting fat, you guys. I'm getting the turkey chin. My fucking beer belly's starting to pop out. I'm looking more disgusting than I ever have because I'm not exercising. I'm researching and trying to put these shows together and a couple other businesses. I'm all after money, but I'm not watching my health, not practicing what I preach. So belongings and things like that, the things that you try to own end up owning you. Just take a look around you. Maybe some of these things you might want to bottle up. You might want to box up, get them out of your way. Only use the necessities, because if you're really going to you're going to charge, right, like a bull, you don't want a bunch of obstacles in your way. So take a look at your belongings and really take an assessment of your belongings and look and go, wow, I spent a lot of money on that Xbox or PlayStation and walkie-talkies or camping equipment or surfboard, skateboard, snow, whatever, guitar, whatever the stuff that you're is. Look at how much that's taken away from you and enslaved you to have to go work to keep paying for it. And I understand, what has come to my understanding is that a lot of people are using credit. I use my credit card, but I pay it off every week. I do that only for security, safety reasons. My account got hacked, but never really realized, how are people affording to go out and do all these things? They're going deep into credit. That's going to screw you up. Buying dumb shit is going to screw you up. So take a look at your belongings and notice, are they working for you or are you working for them? Very difficult too. Is your house working for you or are you working for your house? Ask the question, right? And time. We spoke about time. I think a lot of us, what I want to say about time right now is a lot of us will procrastinate. And I think that's why I don't think this show is going to be very popular. Isn't very popular. Is it going? By the way, I need you guys' help. You guys got to get in there and subscribe something, because I'm really, really thinking that this show sucks. And it's like talking to a wall. If we don't have people interested, might as well just shut it down. Because I can shut this shit down and go back to my normal life. Speaking of time, and go jogging on the beach every fucking morning, which I miss. Taking naps on the beach, working on my computer through the back of my truck. I got it on my Instagram photos, and I think I'm going to do that this summer. I'm definitely going to work on something here. So I got some police officers pulling up behind me. There they go. I just want to make sure they're not going to pull me over for illegal podcasting. So yeah, time, guys. I think a lot of people would procrastinate, like I did with my health, and then what happens? You start turning into a fat fuck. Look at this. Well, my hair's hiding this. Are you guys watching? I'm getting fat all over me. I don't want you guys to get fat like me. I don't want you guys to get gray and wrinkly and another year goes by and another year goes by and you're still in the fucking hole. No. Start now. And listen, you can always go back. You can quit and go right back to what you were doing. If you're not getting ahead, then hey, just return. There's no harm, no foul. You will only progress. You will only learn good stuff from this. So you want to ask yourself the question though, is this realistically achievable? Your plan, all of these things that you implement into your life, is it something that, you ask yourself the question, is it something that you really want? Do you really want it? Because if you don't really want it, it's not very achievable, right? But you got to get some realistic goals. I think a lot of people want to be millionaires and try all these kind of extra dealios and things. But you got to come up with a realistic plan. I've said this a lot in my life, as my motto is, people are in love with the idea, the dream, but not the reality. And the reality is everything takes a lot of fucking work. I think that's the message. Yeah, we're almost on 15 minutes here, so we got to quit. Yeah, you can always go back, guys. It's not a big deal. If you really want to get out of the hole, you really want to experience freedom, I would say in this whole, I call it the alternative lifestyle design, like my life, it's not very extravagant. I don't get to go do a lot of the fancy things that a lot of these rich people do, although I can go eat out whenever the fuck I want. I might just go get myself a burrito this morning. It does sound kind of good. I might just treat myself. I don't know. But I have that option, and the thing that I look at is I'm working my ass off right now. Like, I'm overwhelmed. I think I'm overdoing it, but it's through my choice. Just as I told you guys, you can always quit and go back. I can easily quit this podcast, the YouTube videos, my garden business that I'm doing, growing my own food. I can go right back to just making money, taking my sweet time, swinging hips and stacking chips, and not saying a word to anybody, anything. And sometimes that sounds really good. But I'm really hoping that I can put this message out there, that I can help people, that maybe I can build a business with this whole thing of some sort. And I don't know, have some different shit going on. So that's the inspiration. I hope that I've planted the seed for you guys to run with. I'm your ambassador. Guys, life on this side is when you've got the emergency funds, not a millionaire, just a thousandaire. It's really good and a lot less stressful than the regular life. So if you guys do want to support this show, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, middle finger, comment. If you guys want to send me directly a message, it's upandinitshow@gmail.com. And if you guys like this sort of thing, it's Up and In It. You can check it out on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and anywhere where there's podcasts. And as I always say, guys, go out there and have yourself a near-life experience. Don't lose your muchness. Carry on the fire. Human up. Live it, love it, own it. And bone it, my friends.